Good morning, I'm Bob Gordon from aroundthesound.com.au and I'm here at the Fremantle Community Bank Oval, that I used to just call South Fremantle Oval, with Carla Geneve. Carla, how you going?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm pretty good. We're actually near or inside where the new library, new Rover is, and it's a pretty cool place actually, and for those who are old enough, it's a little bit reminiscent of the Ozone Bar that was in Northbridge many years ago. You'd have to be pretty old to remember that. But Carla's playing here on this coming Friday night with Abby May and
CW Stone King.
Yeah. And yeah, that's probably, in the first handful of gigs here at Rover. And I was here at the Community Cup game and the after party, and it's a really, really good venue. Southern River Band opened it, friends of ours, and you've been here. You were at that gig, weren't you?
Yeah, I saw Southern River Band here. It was great. It was pretty packed out and felt appropriate with the footy club vibe.
Yeah, it's a really good vibe here. But as far as you go, you've just come back from Big Sound over at Bris Vegas, as they insist on calling it. How did that go for you? Because that can really open doors, playing at Big Sound.
Yeah, it went really well. I think I'm really satisfied with how it went. It was very tiring and exhausting because it's just so intense, but it went so well and we had a really great time. Yeah. So, yeah.
So how many shows did you play, and what sort of sizes, and what kind of people were there?
We did 2 official showcases and 1 party, which was just like kind of the same kind of deal. Yeah, just pretty like medium size, not too big, but we had like a good turnout, and I don't know, it's hard to tell the important people from the not important people when you're on stage, but I don't know. Yeah, it went well. The people we wanted to come came, so yeah.
And did you find that people had an awareness of you from the kind of Eastern States and industry people?
I'm not sure, but people came, so I hope they did.
Well, they do now.
Yeah,
they do now. So let's talk about what the path to you getting here. You were born and raised in Albany. What was Albany like as a place to soak yourself in music?
It'd be different growing up in Albany than growing up musically in the city, because there's just less people, there's less opportunities to play as an underage person. But I feel like it's good to just figure it out on your own for a while and have to play those terrible pub shows with 2 people, and yeah, you probably get a bit of humility doing that. But yeah, no, it was great, and it actually, for a small town, Albany has a fantastic scene and a lot of supportive people that are doing music and putting on shows, so it was like the best place to grow up. And a lot of friends of mine, when I was living in Albany, have moved up and are playing music as well, like Isla Imogen from the band Isatang, and yeah, there's a whole few of us.
So you grew up, there was music in the house, your dad played guitar. Is that right? So did you hook on from an early age?
I didn't hook onto guitar until I was about 12, I think. I wasn't really that... I played piano since I was quite young. I don't know how old I was, but pretty young, and I hated it a lot. I was forced to do it every year. And then when I was 12, I think, I just picked up Dad's guitar and started doing that.
Did it come naturally, or were your fingers bleeding?
I think there's a bit of finger bleeding that has to go on when you start playing guitar, but I just got really like hooked on it and really enjoyed playing it. I feel like, I'd just done so much piano and other music that I had like some kind of knowledge that it was easier for me to start, but yeah, it was good. I liked it.
So were you one of those players who very early on gets into the miniature roller coaster of writing your own songs as a youngster? When did you first sort of start penning your own tunes?
Yeah, pretty soon after I started playing, I think. Yeah, I was probably about 12 or 13. Probably 13. I did a year of like figuring out how to actually play guitar, and then starting to write after that. Yeah.
So what what prompts you at 12 or 13 to write your own? Because you kind of like you write poetry and stuff at school, or you don't. But a lot of kids at that age are working out chords and how to play songs they know. But you do hear about like those who were drawn to writing their own songs early, like that, which is great. And what were you writing about then?
I think I was just too lazy to learn other songs, so I just wanted to write them to save myself the effort. I don't know what I was writing about. I mean, you're 12. Like, what do 12-year-olds have to write about? Not much. It's mostly, it's probably just like more of a mimicking what you hear on the radio at that stage, I think. Like, like love songs, and you don't. You just
Pokemon and Beyblades and things like that. But it didn't take long. You released an EP when you were 15 years old, didn't you? So what led to that? And looking back on it, as more of a seasoned songwriter and performer, a few years on, how do you look back at that release?
Yeah, well, it was pretty amateur, of course. Like, I was very young. I think it was cool. Yeah, I wouldn't show anyone. Let's put it that way. But it was good to like have to have the commitment to like put it all together into an album. And yeah, I did it. Now it's done. We can just forget about that.
Yeah. But it must have been a great step. Like,
so I wasn't like particularly proud of it at the time, and I don't know. It's just something I did.
And in the last few years, or 2 years or so, you moved to Perth, mainly to kind of pursue music kind of closer to where that heart beats, or something like that. What was the move like from Albany and coming in and landing where there's, well, compared to Albany, there's a lot of gigs and a lot of people opting or trying to get them?
Yeah, it was great. I think I pretty much like always knew that I was going to move to Perth as soon as I finished school. Probably like initially I thought I was just going to move for uni, but when I started doing music more seriously, and I was like, that would be awesome to actually be able to play shows and have a band and do that stuff. But yeah, it was great. It was pretty smooth. I knew a few people here, but being in the music scene, you meet people so quickly. So I feel like it was just like I always knew it was going to happen, and it felt like I was just doing what I was always going to do. So yeah.
And so when did you, what are your sort of your current era of songs? So the ones we know best are Greg's Discount Chemist and Listening, I guess, are the ones we know best. So when did songs like that start kind of emerging for you?
I think Listening I wrote before Greg's, so that sorry, it would have definitely been like last year. Yeah, like last year, halfway through the year to the end of last year. So they're kind of old. I'm kind of over them, but hopefully we'll release some new ones.
Did the folks from Greg's Discount Chemist in Fitzgerald Street get a wind of the song? Are you aware of their awareness?
Actually, I don't know, and I'm quite curious. But we definitely did check that they couldn't sue us when we used it as the title. But yeah, no, they haven't reached out. And that Greg's Discount Chemist has actually changed its name since, which is tragic. But
yeah, I was going to ask about that. Do you feel you may have helped close it?
I hope not. There's still one in Freo. There's one like just over there, okay. And I do shop at it regularly, so I'm still supporting them.
I really like how the songs are of the everyday and of the neighbourhood. And when you mentioned Street Name, isn't it? There's a song about the chemist, and the chemist is named. Yeah, is that something that comes naturally, or do you want to evoke the feeling of the everyday and the universal existence kind of thing?
I think it comes naturally to a certain extent. I don't think I could write about things that weren't personally very like close to me, just because that's the kind of writer I am. But I also I enjoy hearing that in songs that I love as well, like artists like Jane Clower. She does that a lot, and yeah, it's always nice when you get a little glimpse into somebody's life, in a really honest down to earth way. I love that. I feel like they're really like meaning what they're saying. So I guess I just do it. It's also easy to just drop a reference in terms of writing lyrics, and it's an easy way to make people visualize something, especially if they're from the same place as you. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. It just has a feeling, it makes things more real in a way, that when you can visualise the street, like from Paul Kelly from St Kilda to King's Cross, or there's so many songs that cite places in New York or LA or London or kind of thing. I think for anyone here or around here, it really resonates to hear those references.
Yeah, and I think, like, obviously growing up hearing like stuff about like Central Park or wherever, whichever street in New York, I was kind of like, I wish I knew what that looked like. But when you live in Perth and you hear those things about Fremantle, or about, like, Jack Davies writes a lot of like Fremantle friendly references, and it's actually nice to have that instant like recognition and be like, oh, that's what he's talking about there. I really appreciate that from a local perspective. I love that.
And what was it like? You've had the band together for a while now, but sort of, I guess just first coming to Perth, and there were songs that you wrote and predominantly performed on your own, and then opening it up to the band, and now that the band is like, it's an entity and it's been going for a while, playing the songs. What's the sort of evolution been like?
Pretty easy. The band are great. They're just incredibly talented musicians and lovely people as well. So I feel like they're just like, I love them because they always honour the song in a way. So that what they do on the song is that to make the song better. Just like very tasteful, thoughtful parts that they write. I love that about them. But yeah, going from solo to the band felt quite natural as well. I don't know, just easy when you have good musicians, I think. Yeah. And
so what's the steps from here in terms of releasing product? I won't say product, erase that. But releasing new stuff. It is, yeah. But releasing stuff, what are your plans?
We really want to do like a bigger body of work than just singles next, I think. So I would love to do an EP, probably like early next year. Yeah. And
you played with with Abby May and Jen Clower, who you mentioned before, and others that you've looked up to. Have there been things that you've learned, or is it just being around people like that I don't know, makes things click a little bit more?
Things that I've learnt from playing with them, or
just sort of being in their orbit and talking to them, or just seeing how they go about their stuff.
I don't know, I definitely things I've learnt from what the music is that they play and how they go about that. But and also especially those two, just like such strong, powerful figures in music that have been doing it for so long, and I respect that so much. Just the way that they've just been like powering through for years and years. I love that. Just doing exactly what they want to do. So
Well, cool. Well, I think we'll wrap it up. We might grab a pony and then kick the footy. So Carla Geneve, thanks for being on Around the Sound.
Thanks for having me, Bob.